Hi, I'm Joe. Welcome back. This is the Ultimate Love Letter. Thank you for joining the conversation. The ideas that come to us for collaboration, and yet we procrastinate. That is the convo we need to get into today. I was reading something the other day, and it was talking about how we as children have access to an unlimited amount of resources that are available in God's storehouse. What these resources are ideas that we are able to draw from at any point. And with the ideas contains endless riches that are only available when we take action on those ideas. Now, isn't that interesting? When we're talking about our birthright as children of the Most High and how we are able to live and meant to live prosperous, healthy, wealthy, that doesn't mean that those riches come from doing nothing. They come when we take action on them. They come endlessly, they come effortlessly, they come in abundance, but we are to act to bring those ideas or those gifts to the world. That is how we gain those riches. I was reading Big Magic by Liz Gilbert, who's also the author of Eat, Pray, Love. And she talks about how ideas have an energy and they're very much alive on their own, and how they float around looking for a collaborator, someone who is open, someone who is willing to bring the idea to fruition. When an idea is meant, according to Liz, when an idea is met with an open mind, it is her theory that the idea drops into the mind of that individual. That is when the individual calls it inspiration or a dream. And when the individual takes action on that idea, that dream, and brings it to fruition, we hear about these success stories. These are the people that are considered super achievers for today. These are the people that are the actors making the millions in the films. These are the people who are the singers, the rappers, who, when you listen to them talk, all they say is they had a dream, right? Or call it another thing, they had an idea and they ran with it. These are the innovators. These are the people who created Apple. These are the people who created IBM. These are the people who created AI. Anyone who had an idea that kept and remained open to the idea and then brought the idea to fruition are the people that we consider the greats of our generation, of our society. So I want to ask you, what ideas have landed in your mind because you were open and willing, and the idea knew that they needed you, that they could use you to bring that idea to fruition? Perhaps you have yet to act on it, however. Liz Gilbert also explains in Big Magic how ideas will move on past us. If they have landed on us, they will stay with us for a period of time. Who knows how long that time is? But if we fail to act on it, if we procrastinate on it, the idea will eventually move on to the mind of someone else who is ready to take action. And I want to ask you, have you ever had a situation where you had a great idea You did nothing with it. And then all of a sudden, you saw someone on social media that is like killing it with that same idea that you had, perhaps years before. Have you ever been flipping through the TVs and saw on an infomercial something that you had an idea for, and yet you did nothing? But yet the idea moved on from you to someone else and landed on that infomercial. That was your idea. You were meant to bring that gift to the world. But the ideas will have an expiration date on it. It will not hang around forever. If you have an idea, understand you are the one that's meant to bring that to the world. Will you act on it today? Liz talks about a situation where she had an idea for a very specific novel. And she was excited about writing this book. It was so specific. It was about a middle-aged woman who worked in the industry or the industrial field and was traveling to the Amazon to set an up account. While in the Amazon, she fell in love with someone in the village and on. Very specific novel. She began writing this book. However, her partner fell ill and she stopped to take care of her partner, essentially putting the project down, not picking it up for a year and a half. She went on to say, after about a year and a half, she met with another author at a talk, Ann Patchett, and her and Ann became good friends. While they were at lunch one day, Ann was talking about a novel that she was writing that she was excited about. And so Liz says, oh my goodness, I have a book too, a novel that I have an idea about. I was excited about it too. I haven't picked it up in about a year and a half. And Anne says, oh, really? I want to hear about your novel. So Liz tells her it's about a middle-aged woman traveling to the Amazon, falls in love with, someone in the village. Liz says she looks over and Anne is in shock. And Liz says, what's going on? What's your novel about? And Anne says, it's about a middle-aged woman who travels to the Amazon to set up an account and falls in love with someone in the village. And Liz is like stunned. Here it is, her idea that she had procrastinated on. She was excited about it at one point, but hadn't picked up the project in about a year and a half. That idea had floated on from her into the mind of another author who in turn took the idea and ran with it and had before her a completed book that she put out. And the book ended up being a hit. And Liz talks about that being exactly what happens every time with ideas. If you are unwilling, unopen to put in the work needed to bring the idea to fruition, just know it will eventually pass you by. You will begin to lose inspiration regarding the idea that has come to you. You will begin to lose momentum. And before you know it, a day will come where you will look up and someone would have found success within the very idea that you selected from the storehouse, or the very idea that was planted in your mind and was meant for you to bring it to life. I want to just ask you, what ideas are you sitting on? If you have them, they are yours for now. We're going to need you to act on them today because we need to hear from you. Everything that we see today, all the things that we use today, electricity, the telephone, smartphones, smart TVs, all have come to us because someone acted on an inspiration that they selected, whether they knew it or not, from the storehouse that was their birthright. For the storehouse that contains unlimited wealth and riches that is found within the seed of an idea. Will you act on your idea today? We need to hear from you now. Don't procrastinate any further. The time is ripe to put in the work. And I know putting in the work can be scary. It can be daunting. You may not know where to begin. But as you look at the idea that you have with you right now, I guarantee you have at least, at minimum, a step one. Because that's how God works. If something is meant to come to reality through you, then you have at least one step forward to take to get that idea out. Doesn't mean you have all the steps. Actually, you don't have all the steps. But as you take the step one that you do have, step two and step three will come into focus. Get to work on it now. Get to work on it today. Don't be one that looks up and the idea is in the hands of someone else. Until next time, love yourself and love others. We'll chat again soon. Get to work. Bye for now.